Welcome to Revelation in the News. Breaking news right now. Cyber attack spreads across 12 countries. Some UK hospitals are crippled and shut down, Mondo. Just breaking right now.
This is interesting because this can collapse a country in a matter of seconds, let alone microseconds. And I think Europe right now is in a panic mode. Asia's in a panic mode. Something is going on behind the scenes. This is interesting that it's happened right now at this very second when things are, getting to go haywire.
When God gave me the great download about 17 years ago, on the beginning of year 2000, he spoke to me, and one of the things would be great confusion, great warfare in computers, meaning cyber warfare, which I didn't know the term cyber at that time. I wasn't living in a cyber world. But, I'm wondering, Cora, do you think the young people get the idea that this technology that they love so much is going to be a part of the new world war that we're in right now? Breaking in with breaking news right now. This is a story that we started earlier today, and the news is getting bigger as we go along. The major headline from the BBC is massive ransomware infection hits computers in 99 countries. They're saying it is believed it's the biggest attack of its kind in recorded history. But it's cutting off hospitals, forced to close wards, emergency rooms are turning away patients. Russia appears to be the hardest hit, according to security experts. Chief Research Officer at the Helsinki-based cyber attack company F-Security called the attack the biggest ransomware outbreak in history. One report said that one expert said it could be an event that will shut down countries. Security experts said the attack appears to be caused by a self-replicating piece of software. It goes by itself, and it will go from computer to computer. And now at this moment, one of the reports just coming in, it's in 75, one company, cybersecurity firm, Avast, said it has seen 75,000 cases alone, and it's spreading the world. Here's the thing. On the small computers, the ransom demands start at $300, and then it increases after 2 hours to $400, and then $500, and then to $600. And then you risk losing all the datas. And hospitals have paid up to $17,000 to get their computers turned back on. For so many organizations in the same day to be hit, this is unprecedented, experts are saying. It was originally felt that a group called the Shadow Brokers, a mysterious group, has started in bringing this to be. Hospitals across Britain are finding themselves without access to their computers or phone systems. Many canceled all routine procedures and asked patients not to even come in the hospitals. Patrick Ward, a 47-year-old sales director, said his heart operation scheduled for Friday was canceled at St. Bartholomew Hospital in London. It's going on and on and on. Reports keep coming in. But this could be, and this is the warfare that we've been talking about on the Jim Bakker program and Revelation in the News. This is something that literally can destroy companies, destroy cities, destroy our infrastructures as well. Here's the headline. The day the earth was hacked. Biggest ransomware outbreak ever. And this is, of course, a developing story. At least 99 countries attacked. Another headline. NSA, cyber weapon. Hospitals crippled. Telecommunications snarled. German trains in chaos. Russia government hit. Speed and scale of this operation, it startles even the expert. So the story is growing and growing. So stay with us, and we will be bringing you more of Revelation in the News. This is the story that we have warned you about for 2 decades. And so here's the big headline from BBC. Massive ransomware infection hits computers in 99 countries. So many organizations, so many computers hit in one day, the largest in the history of the world. This is Jim Bakker with Revelation in the News.
You know, Pastor, I see that problem in my generation right now. We are literally addicted to these devices, and we don't realize how dependent we are on electronics. Do we really realize that you will not be able to get water? You will not be able to access your phone. You will not be able to turn your car on. I mean, we are so dependent on this. Do we understand the importance of...
Terrorists are using this phone that I have in my hand. They're using it to set up their bombings, their attacks in the streets. Mondo, you're from the streets.
Yes, sir.
This is how the gangs. How do you think? Overnight, in minutes. I mean, in minutes, not even overnight. In just a few minutes, they can get a crowd to burn down the town.
You know what's so funny you say that is that today they're using this technology to recruit new gangsters to their gangs, let alone to get protesters to come out in a matter of minutes. They organize through technology, and it's shutting down the system that we're so used to having. With this, what's happening right now in Europe, Pastor, is they're putting in a ransom in the hospitals that if they want the computers to work once again, they're going to have to pay a big chunk of money in order for that to work once again. Again, they're collapsing the way we used to do things. Technology today has taken the front seat.
It's blackmail.
That's it.
Absolutely. It's crippling right now as we speak, as this is happening, beginning right now. It was breaking news as we went on the air. We don't even have our news sheets. We always have, as you see our desk here, we have our desk filled with news. We all have news. We have tons of news, dozens and dozens of sheets. This is all fresh news, but this is so fresh it's still on the breaking news system here. Massive cyber attack. It says Europe and Asia Friday, impacting the public health system in Britain, apparently involving a leaked hacking tool from the National Security Agency. This is shutting down hospitals at this moment, possibly killing people.
Absolutely. They're having to turn away people right now. They don't have any access to enroll them into the hospital. They can't even take care of the patients that are in the hospitals right now. And it's affecting not only 12 countries in Europe. Again, if you don't understand how technology works today, then you must be living under a rock, because everything that we do today, from ordering a burger to getting our medicines to getting our bank accounts, everything that we do today has to go through a technology type of system. They can hold us ransom by hacking into our systems and shutting it down from that perspective.
You know how easy it is? Because right now, every single day, people are able to download apps. And what are they doing with that? Because when you download an app, you're giving away your rights, you're giving away freedom.
What?
Yeah. Every time you download an app, if you download a game, solitaire, nobody plays that anymore, but if you download it, it wants to know your contacts. It wants to have access to your media, your pictures.
Oh, I thought I was getting modern. I just been loading down apps because it's helping me because I get news apps even will do. I mean, I have my news on the app.
And the biggest detriment to all this, that if you're going to go on Wi-Fi, you better be careful what you're doing, because they can hack into your phone through a local Wi-Fi system and get into your accounts and pretty much take over your identity if they wanted to.
Yes, this technology is the new weapon right now. But our president actually is addressing this, because technology, computer, the cybersecurity is a big deal right now. President Trump just yesterday, a few days ago, signed a cybersecurity executive order with 3 priorities. 1 is protecting the federal networks. 2, updating antiquated and outdated systems. And 3, getting the heads of these departments to work together. 34%. According to this article. This is just yesterday that President Trump signed this order.
He's one day ahead of this massive world
Yes.
outbreak. This impact, what's going on right now as we go on the air taping this broadcast, the impact of the attack has caused phone lines to go down, appointments to be canceled, patients to be turned away. This is risking the lives of perhaps millions of people. It's in 12 countries. Is that right
Yes,
now?
sir. That's right.
And so here it is. And here's what's happening. This is not connected to that story, but it's one of the top stories for me today. North Korea has a lot of stories. We just had General Boykin here, and he warned us. One of the biggest warnings, and I asked him privately, and he says the EMP bomb from North Korea. He told us that yesterday. So what do I have here on my news that I have in my hand right now? Exclusive. Congressional expert, North Korea prepping EMP. What does that mean? Electrical magnetic pulse.
Yep.
That's that bomb that's placed in, and he can place it in a satellite right now. Catastrophic, it says. Aimed where? On the screen. You read it off there. Catastrophic, aimed, or catastrophe, aimed at the United States of America.
Yes, and what is so interesting about this is there was actually breaking news this week that Korea has been doing all these missile tests that we've been hearing about. And many of the media has been reporting that they are failed missile tests. Well, actually, Dr. Peter Vincent Pry, he is mentioned in this article, and he says that, yes, those missile tests are failed if you're thinking about them in the sense of a normal missile. But the thing is about an EMP is that it has a different trajectory. So here it says, Price spotlighted recent North Korean nuclear and missile tests minimized by the news media for reported failures, but when viewed through the lens of potential preparations for an EMP attack, Pry warned that these tests were actually successes.
And you know, the big thing here is Pry also pointed out that there are 2 North Korean satellites that can be over the United States at any moment.
Wow.
This is from Tel Aviv. This story is breaking from Israel.
Yes.
And they're telling us they've got information, and they're secretly assembling the capability to take out, see the word there, significant. Do any of you guys have my news story?
Yeah.
This is, John, you have that. I think this is one of your, or Cora,
Yes.
did you research this
I
one?
did, yes.
But significant parts of the U.S. homeland via an electrical magnet. We've been warning about this electrical. This is the most vulnerable place in America.
It is. You have been warning about it, and that's why it's so important to be prepared. Because, like I said, do we really understand the importance of being prepared when an electromagnetic pulse hits us?
It's different warfare. It's different warfare.
Exactly.
And this is what God has been dealing with me, that we are going to see this third world war that our guest yesterday,
yes, General Boykin,
what he said was going to happen. It's going to be, he believes the electrical magnetic bomb. He warns us about North Korea, and here is the news today of North Korea, and they're saying that this electrical magnetic pulse EMT attack is being prepared right now by North Korea. What is so diabolical about this is it shuts us down.
It does.
And within 1 year, 90% of the United States of America's population will be dead.
And
they don't destroy America.
Yeah.
They just shut off with this amazing bomb. It's insane what it is. It's another technology, and it wipes out all of our communication systems. It wipes out the airplanes will fall out of the sky. Trains stop running. All the trucks that deliver food to our stores will stop. They won't run. Everything will stop. Tractors in the field. The food will be no longer delivered. That's why we have been a prepper. And the only reason that I'm a prepper is I know these kind of things are going to happen. You read Matthew 24. You read the book of Revelation. And I've got a story today, and I want to share it with you soon. But who has a comment on this story?
Well, I would like to even add before we move on real quick is that North Korea is drawing us in to North Korea. You know, how many nations are getting involved? You got China, Russia, Japan, South Korea, all getting involved in North Korea. But why are they being so audacious? Because that they know that at any moment they could let one of those satellites go and it would be right over the United States.
And what are they doing? They're kidnapping American citizens.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they're just another one. That's the headline today. Another one
Yes, they
from
now have
Fox
4.
News.
This is a quote from Dr. Peter Vincent Pry. He said, if a crisis comes up and if we decide to attack North Korea, Kim Jong can threaten our president and say, well, don't do that, because if you do, we're going to burn your whole country down, which basically means that they are making the threat to turning the United States into ashes, he said.
Wow.
It's important to understand. I mean, I can't believe that General Boykin said that one of the number one threats was this guy, Kim Jong. And when you asked him, is he crazy? He says, no, for us, he's crazy. He seems to believe that he is a very smart young man. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's playing with.
It's more diabolical than crazy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you know,
And here's the headline today, just coming in right now.
right here, this is just a hostage situation, a political hostage.
Yeah.
They're just gathering our people.
That's
They're
how they.
invoking us.
Those are pawns.
Yeah.
People become the pawns. It becomes the power tools in this new kind of warfare. As the general said, it's not going to be tanks. No. It's not going to be warfare like we've been used to.
No.
It's and this is what, as we go on the air today, this breaking news of this story. Yeah. It's the impact of phone lines are cut off right now. And 12 countries are being hacked at this moment. Hospitals being shut down. This is just a beginning.
You know
and
how
they've been testing in the United States, by the way, the last few months. And the power systems have gone out. The fourth major city in America now, I think it's last
You know
week.
how easy that came through? Through an email. Through an email, they were able to collapse Europe power system through a cyber attack because of a malware function.
Wow.
Through an email that was open, that's how they can collapse you in seconds. Through a little system that we use every single day, Pastor, by opening up a message, not knowing what's behind it. That's how fast they can collapse a country down in a matter of seconds. I think we ought to pay attention. In 1999, you brought this word, Pastor, that it is resonating 17 years later. We are living in the very prophetic moment of our life.
God gave me 31 things. I would say 85% of them have already taken place. And he did it to warn me and to warn the people. And that's what we do. Okay, the big news, of course, is the Trump firing FBI director. What's going on?
Well, it's pretty interesting what's going on. If you recall, a few months ago, or even just last week, the Democrats were still angry at Comey, blaming him for Hillary's loss. And then as soon as President Trump fires him, all of a sudden their opinions have gone 180 degrees, and they have a completely different opinion of him now. It's contradictory and it's inconsistent. And honestly, I saw a clip of Stephen Colbert, who's we've talked about on the show lately, where he told his audience that Comey was fired, and his audience cheered, and he was not expecting that. He was expecting boos, and he didn't know what to do with that. The audience cannot even keep up with the narrative of the left right now.
You know what? We actually have a B-roll just on what you're talking about right now, where Fox News and Sean Hannity that they were playing. And I think if we could roll that real quick, the audience can see the hypocrisy coming from the Democratic Party.
Let's roll it.
James Comey, the former now FBI director, is a national embarrassment. It's that plain, it's that simple. Comey has failed you, the American people, on a spectacular level, and at every single turn, the FBI director disrespected the Constitution. He has shown he does not care about the equal application of the rule of law being applied equally to every American. He has now stood by while our Fourth Amendment rights have been trampled upon, and worst of all, he has created in this country now a two-tier justice system, one for Hillary and Bill Clinton and one for the rest of America. And Comey completely ignored all the laws that Hillary Clinton broke, which you can see on the side of your screen. Nobody in the mainstream media, the Destroy Trump media, is telling you this tonight. Now, if you or I, anybody in this audience, did anything close to what Hillary Clinton did, you would be put in jail. You would be perp walked, fingerprinted, you would be mugshotted and put in jail. But James Comey proved himself to be, in the end, nothing more, sadly, than a political hack, and he didn't deliver equal justice under the law. Let's talk about the Clinton Foundation and the alleged pay-to-play scheme. Now, the Clintons, they lined their pockets millions and millions of dollars while Hillary was serving as Secretary of State. Now, the evidence of wrongdoing is incontrovertible, overwhelming, yet Comey sat on the sidelines, and Clinton even gave up 20% of this nation's uranium to Vladimir Putin in this corrupt Uranium One deal. She personally, as Secretary of State, had to sign off on that 20% going to Putin. The evidence of wrongdoing is overwhelming. There's the egregious violation of our Fourth Amendment rights with Americans like General Flynn, who were incidentally caught up in foreign surveillance. They were amassed. That intelligence, a felony, leaked to the press. By any measure, the one crime that we know was definitely committed in the case of General Flynn didn't bother Comey one bit. Sally Yates even said yesterday she was never asked about this by Comey. He did nothing to get to the truth, to get answers about who leaked information about General Mike Flynn, a felony under the Espionage Act. And the incompetent Comey, he did nothing to stop this false lie that has been advanced for so many months that Russia was colluding with then candidate Trump and then transition team Trump. He should have, for the sake of this country, put this to rest once and for all. So, you know what? To James Comey, good riddance.
This, I wrote on a piece of paper, and I doubt if you can see it. What is this war now?
Words.
It's all about words.
Yes.
Words, 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 words. This is the first horse of the apocalypse. You say, oh, Jim, you believe we're in the apocalypse? Yes. The apocalypse has already begun. And the four horses of the apocalypse, read it. I'm going to read it, and then you can comment if you want. But I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer, to subdue. But what was this white? He had a bow, but he did not have arrows. He did not have the weapon. He didn't have bullets. He didn't have, this is biblical terminology. So here we have right now the spirit of Antichrist, this evil spirit. It's a war of words. And they're using it on television. They said, so-and-so has plans to kill Hannity.
Yeah.
And they don't mean kill with a gun. They mean kill with words.
That's right.
And I've been crying out, and I don't know if anyone in the church is hearing me, but we're in a warfare of words, and the church has got to wake up, and we've got to stand up. Salvation is words. With the mouth, confession is made unto salvation. And the devil is trying to cut out the voice of the church.
Well, he came to kill, steal, and destroy.
Absolutely.
Everything that the church has stands.
Life and death, the power of it. Was that right?
The power's in the tongue.
In the tongue.
That's it.
And that's where this war is right now. This is the spiritual warfare. I wrote this in my book several years ago. I've written this in all my writings, and this is what I believe. He has a bow but no arrows. He's not equipped for material warfare, but he's out to conquer. How are they conquering? They say so. They want to kill our president, President Trump, with words. They want to assassinate his person.
Absolutely. It's this, a character assassination of a character, and that's what's happening. Everywhere you turn, everything you watch, everything you hear, everything that is being put out in social media today is to assassinate the character of a president that really has been in office maybe 100 days plus, and we're seeing results that we have never seen. At least in my lifetime, I have not seen this type of ridiculeness to the office of the United States
And the warfare has gone on and on and on and on. And this warfare has been on every TV show, every TV station. They're eliminating anyone that is pro-Trump from every broadcast.
Everything.
Soon, very soon, the only conservatives will be on Christian television.
Yes.
And then we're the next target. Just write it down. Christian television is the next target. We're going to have to stand strong. What happened this week? What did ABC cancel? I keep asking Cora because I know this is something that you say this is a great show. I watched Tim Allen back when his first couple shows. You know, what was his first?
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Yes.
And his shows have always been clean, decent,
Yes.
fun shows. And Last Man Standing has been his new show on ABC Network. So what
Exactly.
happened this week?
Well, Last Man Standing, a show that had very impressive numbers and has been around for 6 full seasons, has now been canceled. And the reason is political. Tim Allen's character actually is he represents political conservative and devout Christian adhering to traditional American values. And they're saying, and let me remind you that ABC is owned by Disney, who is a very liberal company. Now, what I don't understand about this is there's a lot of inconsistency. How come they are canceling shows that have traditional American values, which apparently offends some people, but then they will let on people who are saying just grotesque things about the President of the United States,
But you know
like
what
Stephen Colbert.
they're saying about this show? They're saying it's virtually a cash cow. That means it
Yes.
pours cash into their coffers. Usually, business people don't make stupid decisions about something that's pouring money in. But what they're doing, they hate Trump. What is this? This is not a normal spirit. This is not a normal hate. This is that spirit of the first horse of the apocalypse, which is riding now. It's the spirit of hatred that's taking over America. And life and death is in the power of the tongue. What is the next horse? And it's coming. We're hearing about it from Korea. We're hearing about it from Russia. We're hearing about China. We're hearing about it all over the world. We're in the Mideast. We're hearing this. Okay, the next horse here, and back to Revelation. This was Revelation chapter 6, verse 2 is the white horse. And then verse 3 is the next horse. Does anybody know what that next horse color is? It's red. Oh, you knew it. It is a red horse. And here's what happens. He opened the second seal. I heard the second beast, the living being, says, "Come and see." And when he went out, the horse that was red, flame color red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace and prosperity from the earth, that they should kill. And that means butcher, slaughter, maim violently one another. Is that now? That's where we're moving.
That's right.
And there was given unto him a great sword or weapon or something to kill people with. That here's the meaning of this in the Greek: fear, exciting or exceedingly great, high, large, loud, mighty, makes you sore afraid, strong, mega sword. And I mean, this takes peace and prosperity from the world. What's coming next? I'm telling you, it's time to open the book of Revelation.
That's right.
The next horse is getting ready to ride. The next horse is like, North Korea or war. What is Russia doing, guys? Come on. What's Russia doing right now?
They seem to be involved somehow in everything.
Everywhere.
That's right.
Allegedly.
Even Alaska.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but they're sending their planes.
Yeah,
and their planes are loaded with bombs.
That's right.
They're on alert.
Yeah.
And they're the submarines. Forgive me, I sound like I'm excited today. We only have a half hour. I'm used to an hour program. And I'm telling you, we're there now.
Yes.
I've been studying this. God sent me to summer camp for 5 years to be able to study the word night and day.
Yes.
And this is why. Why am I excited, Mondo? Because it's coming.
Absolutely.
I've seen it. I'm prepared for it. You've been with me 20 years.
20 years.
Have I not been preaching the same thing? Warning and warning and warning the people.
Yes, sir.
And here it is. Even as we go on the program today, one of my 31 things is exploded on just as a illustrated sermon that this right here, Microsoft says they're going to try to fix it. The malware was sent via email with a file attached to it. Yes. And then it spread. It's like a disease. It's like a living being. John, you probably know more about this electronics than I do. And I'm just so new at all of this. But we're going to have an electronic war. Yeah. We're going to have a computerized war. It's now. It's here. The war of words is here. The next one is the red horse. That comes next, and that's warfare. And God spoke to me in one of my 31 things. And where did I put it here? I like to read from it, but because I have it all memorized, believe me. But it's a war, an atomic bomb is going to happen in this order. And here it is in the things that God spoke to me about. Yes. So now who's preparing a bomb? Iran?
Iran.
Iran. Do you think Iran? That's one of the questions I didn't ask our guest yesterday, because I was going to ask him, will Iran build the bomb? And I know what he's going to say. They're already building the bomb.
I think they already have a bomb. Iran and Korea, North Korea have been working together for a long time. I mean, Iran sends their bombs to North Korea so they can test them out. I mean, the threat here between a lot of countries, we have to be able to be alert, know what the signs are. I mean, you keep teaching us, Pastor, about the signs all around us. Watch Matthew 24. Watch Luke 21. Watch Revelation 6:1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. You're going to know where the times is the church living in the midst of rumors of wars, in the midst of catastrophes, if they're going to happen around us, earthquakes and tsunamis and famines, and when they call out peace and safety, that's when you have to watch what's next. The biggest question that we keep asking is, what's next? Even you guys watching, you guys leave your comments and you say, what's next? All you have to do to find out is go to the book of Revelations. Find out what's next. We know the end of the game, Pastor. I love this because we get excited. But before the end gets there are things that God gave us in his book that we are to watch for. And I'm glad that 17 years later, when you thought that, oh my God, why am I writing this thing down? 17 years later, to the date almost, this cyber attack begins to happen. Listen, just because it's not happening in America doesn't mean that it's not happening right before our eyes. There are things developing so fast.
The general told us yesterday, the general was here with us on the show, and he said to us that we are in the third world war right now.
That was
shocking. He said
shocking.
It's just a different war. It's not tanks and
guns and
like we're used to. It's going to be a different war, and that war has begun. We got to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Hope you watch us next week. Remember that God loves you, and know Jesus, because it's the only way out to live eternally. Yes. Bye-bye for today.